Hello and welcome to this episode on my App Tutor TV. In this episode we're going to be looking at creating our very own Hollywood, pun intended. So we're going to start off by having some text in here, as you can see, wood, holly, and add some holly from an image we got over here, and then inset the word wood into the wood to give us our Hollywood sign. Let's get started. Okay, see, the first thing I've done here is I've loaded this wooden plank file in here, and it's been transformed into a layer from the background. I just double clicked on it, gave it a name, and there we have a layer. So the first things I want to do is I want to put the text elements in here. So let's just create a new text layer. So I'm going to click the text here and just click in the viewport here, and then I need to change my character here. I'm going to ensure I choose a good font that's pretty big, and I'm going to choose the Myriad. Let's go all the way down here. The Myriad Pro, that's a nice font there. Needs to be pretty big. Let's crank that all the way up to 70, probably going to need more, but initially we can just type in the words then, and I'm going to ensure that I'm typing in white. So let's just change the color here all the way up to white, click OK, and then type all in capitals for the first bit. And I also want to ensure that I've got that in bold, so it's nice and big. And then what I'd like to do is I'd just like to ensure that the separation between the text is a lot more than what it currently is. So I just need to set the tracking here up a bit. So I'm just going to click on the word VA here and just push this up to, say, 60. In fact, it's quite fiddly to do that, so let's just type in here 60 and press enter. Then let's just check the text here, and then I want to increase the size of the text. So with this selected, show the transform tools here, and then let's just increase the size of this. Now I'm going to press down the shift button to constrain this to the size I want. I'm going to make it pretty big here and put it about there in the middle of our wooden planks, and once again click the check mark here. So once I'm happy with that, I'm then going to type in on another text layer by selecting the text tool here, and I'm just going to type in wood. Once again, I want to increase the size of this, so grabbing down the corner here, holding the shift button down, let's just increase the size of this to about that there, and then I want to place that in the center. And you see I've got my smart guides on, so when it came to the center I get the little pink line coming up, and there we go. I'm going to let go there. I'm going to once again ensure that I have the vertical adjustment here set to 60, and just close that down and check it off. The next thing I want to do is I want to bring in some holly in a image file, which we're going to sample from and insert into the word holly here. So first things I want to do is I want to create a new layer. So ensure we've got the top layer selected here, which is the word holly. Let's just change these around, so we've got holly on top here, and select new layer. Let's just change this to actual holly bush, so we don't confuse it with the word holly down here. And with that selected, let's go up to File, and then let's place our holly. And we can just select it over the top here. It doesn't really matter where it goes. I'm actually going to change the size of this down, so I just want to make sure I'm going outside of the words here, so we can just change the opacity down so we can see what we're doing here. And I want to ensure that I have lots of the holly outside, I'm just going to control minus to zoom out, grab the corner here, press shift down so I constrain it all, and just move it up to about there. When I'm happy with it, just click the check mark. I'm going to just change the opacity back up to 100. I'm just going to change the visibility of this layer off, and then I'm going to come back to our Holly layer here. I'm going to load the text as a selection, so I'm going to hold Control down on my keyboard, and you see my little icon turns to the selection icon, and let's click on the text here. So we've selected it. Let's just hide that now, like so. I will then make the holly bush here visible, like so, and then I'm going to come down and create a mask out of that. So I'm going to come down to the mask here and then just click on mask, and what you need to ensure is you've got that layer selected. So let's do that again, and then click on the word holly here. So here's what we're going to do now, is we're going to grow the holly outside the edges of the text here, and this is how we do it. We ensure we have the mask selected, which is here, and you can see it has the white border around it, so we have the mask selected. We go up to the select and go down to refine mask, and in the dialog box that comes up, you'll notice that straight away the remainder of the image has gone, and that's because the view we're looking at here is set to on white. You probably want to have it set to on layers here, which allow us to see everything, and then just close that down. And then here, this is what we do here, we increase the radius. Now this is quite a reasonable resolution image, so we probably need to raise this up a fair bit, so just keep raising it like so, and you'll see that we're starting to get the holly growing on the outside, and it's just worth playing with the amount that we actually want in here. Let's just seem a little bit fiddly, and I think we're there. When we're happy with that, just press the tab key, and so you see we have this translucent edge around here. The way we can fix that is just to crank the contrast up here to a fair bit, and you see that we lose the translucency. I'm going to just check on smart radius here, which gives us a better effect in my opinion, like so, and you see that the O looks like a nice wreath we got there. And we can also shift the edge here, which can grow the edge of the holly out, maybe just to about 10. Maybe that's a bit too much. It might be to do with this radius here. We can just it's just worth playing with it till we get what we want. Once we're happy with that, just click OK, and that's all there is to it, nothing more. Okay, so let's add some definition to the holly text we got here by adding some effects to this layer. So come down to the effects icon here, let's click on it, and let's add a drop shadow to start with. I'm just going to bring that in here so we can see what we're doing, but at the same time allow us to see the text here. So let's just change the color for starters from black, and let's choose a nice brown color by just typing in 25, 25, 25, gives us this nice dark brown color. Let's click OK, and then let's just crank that down from 75, which is possibly a bit dark, down to about 50 here. We might want to up the distance here just a little touch. That'll probably do us there. And let's just change the size as well. This is the feathering size, up to about 10 pixels. The last thing I want to do here is just change the blend mode from multiply to linear burn, which will give us a real dark shadow to what we've got here. And once that's on, we might want to just check what we got here. Yeah, I'm quite happy with what we got. Last thing I want to do is I want to add an inner glow. So at the minute you see, well, that's a bit over the top, so let's just change our color here to a nice green color. Let's come in here, drag this down and let's just change our hue here to about 90, leave that on 100, and let's probably have that about 25, which is this nice dark green here. Click OK. Let's just change the blend mode in here from screen to multiply, like so, and let's just change the opacity from 75 all the way up to 100%, and that should do us, and just click OK. Well, that does us for the holly text got here. Let's deal with the wood here. So let's select our wood layer here, and then what I want to do is I just want to change the fill to nothing, but we've although we can't see the text, we've still got the text in here. So with that still selected, let's go down and add an effects, and I'm going to add an inner shadow. So inner shadow, there we go, and you'll see straight away we get this sort of indent in here. We just need to change a few parameters here to emphasize that. So here we go. I'm going to change the blend mode straight away to linear burn to create that nice dark effect that we have in here. I'm going to crank up the opacity all the way up to 100. I want to just put on a little bit of a feather in here, as you can see, like so. Not too much. Perhaps just move this distance down to about 4 pixels. Maybe that size is just a little too much there. Maybe down to about 5 pixels. That should do us. And then I'm going to add an inner glow, like so. And this time I'm just going to leave everything at its default here. Perhaps just crank the opacity down ever so slightly to lighten this effect down to about 50%, and then click OK. And then I'm going to deselect everything, or turn off transform controls. Let's tap F on the keyboard a couple of times, and then Control 0 to zoom that in, and there you go. There is our holly wood.